My sons, attack the gates.
Hello! Hello everybody. A little later than usual for the last 8 minutes. I've been drawing icons for items I forgot we got. So sorry if they're a bit rushed. Hello, thank you for the rocks and the rocks. The rock hands and the rock with hands. Rock slide, yeah. How are we all doing? We all well? I'm slightly tired. So apologies if this is a bit of a low energy one. But yeah. Rocks. Good old rock. Yeah, welcome to the Forest of Doom, and this very cool art of Mrs., which I haven't had time to, like, crop properly. I literally just replaced the picture with the one that was there last time because I was in a rush and I had stuff I was supposed to be doing, so... Oh dear. Look at Mrs. Good Art. It's on Twitter. Go look on Twitter. It's all there. So, yeah. Forest of Doom. We're getting there. As the crawl explains, we've kind of eliminated the vast majority of the map that, via metagaming, we believe should contain the head of the hammer. Actually, while I'm here, might as well give a bit of a recap. It's been a while. Hello, Try. How you doing? Thank you for the rock. Hi. Yes, so, bit of a recap. We're a goblin called Pal, who's looking a little bit grumpy at the moment, because they've been through a lot. We found a dwarf who told us that the dwarves in the north of Stonebridge are currently feuding, but the trolls are on their way and we need to reunite them. So Pal said, sure, I'll do that, sounds like fun. And then the dwarf died. Big Leg, I think was his name. We buried him. It was poignant. And then we went into the Forest of Doom to try and find this hammer. We found Ystromo, a magical person, who told us that 2 goblins had found the hammer as it was being carried by a Deathhawk. And that they had split it in 2, the handle and the head, and gone their separate ways because they couldn't decide who could have it. We have found the handle in the possession of a goblin in the possession of a troll. There's a weird one, that. But we still need to find the head. We've explored a lot of the map at this point. Let's have a quick look at the map. There we go. Yay, the pictures stand up as well. That's nice. We've got a collar, some fur, and an egg. I had to draw those in the last 10 minutes. So, yes, we have explored a lot of the map. We found the handle down here in a cave, and people have surmised that because the book doesn't allow you to go south, although I do, it shouldn't be anywhere around here or here, the head. And so we've been through a lot of the rest of the map. Been some cool stuff, but we've run away from a lot of people. Your people, hello, Try. How you doing? Yes, so we're currently just going over things we've been over before. Trying to find wherever that hammerhead could be. A couple of things that I suppose are worth pointing out for the sake of completion. We pretty much the first thing we did in this book was to run away from the witch, sorry, not the witch's hut, the evil lady's hut, the evil woman. There was a hole here we didn't explore because it was drippy. Hobgoblins, the hobgablins, we ran past those. There's an ape man in a tree. What else is there that we didn't do? We burnt that down. That was a thing. Broke up some boulders. Still a room in a well. We're currently in the well. We'll get to that. There's the hillmen who shot us in the shoulder. It's very unpleasant. There's this place which has a keyhole, but we don't have the key, and it's made of stone. There's a pterodactyl still on the loose. There's a dead cat. Giant. There's lots of things on the map still need to do. So yeah. This is where we are. And we are currently back in the well. Now, if I was prepared, I would have gotten some pictures up of the gremlins from in the well last time. But here is the rough layout of the well. So this is the entrance. The well itself. It's full of stuff. Let's get my pencils back up and running. It's full of water and probably some dead gremlins at this point. We've cleared out this room. This is where we found the presumable leader of the gremlins. Oh yes, we have the inventory command. Yes, this is where we found the leader of the gremlins and a clay figurine of a hand, which we smashed. No, he smashed. They smashed. And we took the pieces of. Down here, we found a small gremlin in a box and a bar of gold, which we're slowly chipping away at to sell. But we haven't explored this room yet, and we're currently standing outside it waiting to see what happens. Last time we got near this room, we got shot in the other shoulder. with a wooden arrow. Yes, try a wooden arrow. So yeah, that's the thing. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. The only piece of information we have at the moment, apart from the fact that goblins have the hammer, is this gnome here told us that he saw a goblin going into a crypt. That's the best we've got right now. So yeah, we are currently standing outside this room here. We have some very good art for that, but I would have to go through Windows to sort it all out. Or I could just do this. Well, I can't do that because then we won't have the vote. Never mind, Rock. Hello. So, what do, friends? What do, Morok? What do we do? Oh, music is as ever courtesy of Adrian von Ziegler. I do like shouting that out because freely available music for non-commercial purposes. Yay! You were attacked lovingly by your cat. Oh no! Did you survive? Right. So let's try and draw a pal, shall we? So there's a there's an avenue here, and then there's an avenue sort of down here with rocks. There's some more sort of curtains. What's your plan of action? You're currently going towards a place in the dark. You have a torch out. And you're approaching a place where once upon a time you were shot with an arrow in the shoulder. Dramatic music. These are quite small places. In the book it says that you're crouching down, but in the book it also says you're human, so... I was looking a bit strange today, my apologies. The ear's low, gotta be sneaky. He's got his squirrel helmet, which adds a +1 to all dice rolls in combat. Their dice rolls, of course. Doesn't work on the enemy, otherwise it'd be pointless. Miss was very kind enough to draw the wolf pelt properly, with the head going over the helmet. I, however, am much lazier than that. And we'll just have it as being a fluffy thing around the neck. This is the difference between someone who draws for the purposes of getting something out there and communicating an idea, and somebody who draws because they're actually genuinely good and interested in drawing. You're a snack before we attack. No, it's not being rude to myself. It's just that's my attitude to art. I didn't get into art because I love art. I got into art because there were things I wanted to make. I am a functional drawer, not a passionate one. There's also a bag over here, and it's got lots of stuff in it, including slippers. Those slippers with bunny ears also include a frog, which I am now compelled to draw in every single scene. Because it's the one present I gave you. After many a debacle. Actually, I gave you the slippers as well. They're all in one. Like, I gave you an egg, I gave you the slippers, I gave you the frog. They're all together. You do have 2 swords. That is a thing. You had your sword and then you pulled out a magical sword. The magical sword increases your skill by 2 in all situations, whether you're using the sword or not. Because logic. There is part of me that kind of wants to make my own... And by part of me, I mean a lot of me wants to make my own story like this. And I feel like this would be a good setting to do it. But ideas, time, all these things. I suppose, strictly speaking, the cape should be in front of that, shouldn't it? And by cape, I mean, as well as the fluff, we are wearing, or the fluff, the wolf pelt. We are also wearing a curtain that we took from another part of the well several weeks ago. By several, I mean about 10. Oh yes, we have an egg. They saved one egg before burning everything else. That is a thing. What happened? It's very dark in this tunnel, by the way, so there's no torches or anything like that. But Pal is holding a torch in the hand that you can't see. Trust me. Perspective? What's that? I've never heard of it. Cool. This is roughly where we are. Modulo 17 or 18 other items. The music's a little loud. Down a tad. Excellent though it is, slightly voluminous. How else can we dash without a cloak, row swish? What? Oh, 2 swish. And what have we got? Wolf pelt, helmet, jewelry, curtain bag, coat, badges, tunic, belt, recorder, star badge. Oh yeah, recorder. That's the thing. I've got a recorder. If anybody missed that during the day. I got sent a recorder. By a mysterious friend who shall not be named. Yes, IRL. Yes, apparently the law we've been making is that I bought a recorder and forgot about it. Not that somebody sent it to me. Yeah, so I now have. Not only is it a recorder, it is the smallest possible recorder, which is perfect for PAL. Bad for my fat fingers. So I am now, I suppose, honor bound to make some sort of music for PAL. Send them a fruit basket as my thanks. It's the law, yes. It's a nice one. It's made of wood and everything. Now you went shopping for recorders, and proper ones are like hundreds of dollars. They can get very expensive. As can every instrument. But like every other instrument, almost every instrument that people want to play, and the recorder, you can get them relatively cheap. So, thank you very much. It was very kind of you. Piercings. Get rid of lines. Hal has piercings that have miraculously stayed intact this entire journey. Shoes. Anyway, what have we got? We have 2 votes for sneak forward and spy things out. Let me just move things along so it's easy to see. There's a gift gif. Now look at you being inconspicuous. That's a talent. Look at that. You can draw what? You can draw them ripped out. You never thought of that? Ripped what? Who? What? Oh yeah, theoretically, yeah. It's an unpleasant feeling, but you do tend to see goblins with tears in the ears. Hello, Octo. What? Speaking of that, are you okay with people sending you stuff? I mean, define okay. I would rather people sort of, you know, I don't know. I'm weird. I'm strange. I'm glad. I'm very, you know. No. But I'm also trying to set things up so that I can make things that you would want to get, if that makes sense. I'd rather you sort of suggest things for me to make that you could buy, and then that would be a thing. I don't know. No, don't do that. Sorry, you're trying very hard to pay attention, but you're feeling very frazzled today. That's absolutely fine, Emily. Just feel free to copy and paste exclamation mark vote smooch, and your spirit shall be with us. And yes, good job on getting the money. Well, not getting the money. Good job on everybody else for helping support Emily, because yay. So yeah, presents are extremely kind, but I'm also trying to work out ways that you can sort of support me in other ways. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of crap, and I've got to try and get rid of a lot of it. So yeah. Don't shush. But what if more crap? No, you wouldn't be. I'm not suggesting you're sending me crap. Anyway, you know what I mean. Anyway, shh. There's a squirrel outside the window. Oh no. Is it doing things involving nuts? Maybe. You want it to be a surprise, but when it's done, you'll post it. You can. Oh right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. You're welcome to do approach these things however you wish. Try's just showy. Likes to do surprises. Likes to surprise people. But yeah, you can do as you desire. But I'm very flattered that you would consider doing something like that for me. Thank you very much. It's very kind. Don't throw a stone at it. These people don't like that. Yeah, that's the thing. Shouldn't be so mean to yourself for buying yourself a nice present. One day I will have my revenge. So what are we doing? We have sneak forward and spy things out. Chuck one fire capsule at the enemy, then ready sword for a fight. Draw both swords and windmill our arms in an unstoppable attack as we charge into the room. And doot for us, Chris. Well, it seems like sneak forward and spy things out seems to be the way forwards. So Pal, I suppose sneakily, snuffs out the torch, which I imagine is relatively difficult, but nonetheless is adept in doing so. And sneaks forwards. Roll 2d6. Can't believe they missed the recorder saga while you were away doing stupid work. Yeah, it's a thing. And it's very nice. It comes in its own little pouch as well. It's cool. This is a sopranino recorder, i.e. above soprano. This is even smaller than soprano. Okay, so roll 2 more d6. Why not? You are unlucky enough to that you as you're tiptoeing forwards, trying to sneak out and see what's happening. You hear the 3 whispers going on in the background, and at some point they just stop. And Pal's clever enough to realise, oh, that's not a good thing. And all of a sudden, another arrow flies through the air. Luckily, Pal has been in this situation before and dodges to the side, knowing exactly what's coming. What do you want to do now? It seems like they know you're there. I am a giant. Yeah, no, I have massive hands. That's what arrows look like, yeah. That's why there's so many holes in this tattered curtain. So yeah, Pal manages to dodge out of the way. Your vote is already accounted for? What? Oh, I got rid of the votes. Chuck fire capsule and smoke them out. Okay. Also, I don't know who voted for what because I just looked up and saw all the votes. It's an anonymous system. Me! Hello. Mini beef face. Your husband is about to be shot. Why do you keep losing bloody husbands? Aw, poor Keith. Use fire capsules to capture him off guard. Attack! Attack! Yes, we do still have two fire capsules left. I need to find appropriate pages to get stats for gremlins, I assume. So let's do that. Luckily, I have mapped this entire game because I'm insane. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Okay, cool. That's fair enough. Put on like head on all fours and charge in low to the ground of biting faces. I mean, they're gremlins, so you're probably good at that height. Aren't you glad, Dark, that your Ditto came in before Try posted? This is the danger of the Ditto. You're smart. So we have 2 votes for throw the fire capsule, 1 for use fire capsule. So I'm guessing we're going to use the fire capsule. And unfortunately, the wolf collar situation hasn't gone through. So Pal takes out of his bag a fire capsule, throws it through one of the holes in the curtain, and here's it go into a big puff of fire. The high-pitched voices are all sort of going like that. And sorry, there's echo, isn't there? Like that. And Pal gets out this sword, readying the sword for a fight, and then pulls back the curtain to see these sort of shocked gremlin faces. How are the voices? Like that. You're welcome. And yes, sees in front of them 3 gremlins. And they are gremlins. We have confirmed, after only 10 weeks, we have confirmed they are gremlins. And one of them has a bow and arrow, but the other 2 have small knives and are ready to attack. So I suppose I'm going to have to draw that, and combat will have to ensue eventually. So let's sort that out, shall we? Well, we can move this. I'm doing admin, hope you don't mind. You need to sort out effects for your GMing. There's just a dial on my thing that I can turn and I get reverb. I can't hear it, I don't know what it sounds like. But it's there. I could also add different effects like chorus and flange. But yeah. Reverb is the most useful. So, I've got to draw 3 gremlins. What do gremlins look like? They're just sort of little blobby friends with big old ears. Give us a chorus. It's very fiddly to sort out. I can't remember exactly how. There's lots of dials and buttons and things. It's not an intuitive system. This is not a digital setup. Well, it is digital, but all of the controls are analog. What do gremlins look like? I can't remember. They're not happy about it. I have literally no idea what I'm going to draw here. Okay, hang on. Let's go for a kind of... Ooh, hello. Controls, thank you very much. Like I said, I can't remember how I drew gremlins 10 weeks ago, but here we are. Yeah, we can do the sort of rips in the ears, as is always good fun with a goblin or a gremlin. Oh, I gave them pointy noses, if I recall. That was sort of my primary difference. Always with the loincloth. Everything wears a loincloth. It's an interesting shape. I didn't intend to do it, but here we are. Where does the hook... There's usually a hole for hanging these things. I never know where it goes. Put it there. Again, can't remember the differences between all the things and how I drew them before because I'm inconsistent. Life's grand. There's, you know, it's a spectrum. There's all sorts of gremlins. What sort of gremlin are you? Take this online quiz. Do they have belly buttons? Why not? Must have nipples as well. Everything must nipple. You fully expect these to look like the gremlin children you drew for your AU? Otherwise, you'll have to draw even more gremlin children because it wasn't accurate. Apologies. I will look up gremlin AU immediately. There's a thick neck. Sorry. It's one big gremlin family that all like to annoy Toddler Pal. Oh, no, it's the bullies. Can you be a spectral gremlin? That's an interesting concept. Do you have to draw a spectral gremlin now? I would like to see a spectral gremlin. And with annoy them, you mean they're not actually annoying him, they're just being gremlins and Pal's too young to know cultural differences. Oh no! Oh no, Try's here. Warden of the They. Here to correct us when we slip. The problem is that because it's a fictional character, you kind of project a bit, and you sort of project your own idea as to what that character should be onto it. And it's, you know, when you crowdsource a character, not everyone's entirely 100% on board with this zeitgeist of a thing. So, you know. You're working, sorry, thank you for policing yourselves. I mean, Chibi policed themselves, so. Downloader on? This is JMax. They has been a singular pronoun for... I never said anything about that. I just said about the fact that this is a crowdsourced character, so it's sort of... difficult to separate what was sort of crowdsourced from outside of your purview and what was crowdsourced from within your purview. This is the chef. No, the derp face only goes with one pose, and that is straightforward. Oh no, the cat's back. Oh no. You must accept affections and fluffs and or scritches if they occur. Anyway, here's the gremlins. Salt? What? Why salt? Thank you for the stickers, though. Smoochogram. Yes, I suppose this is just a fight. You're fighting the grams. So here's the tricky thing. My scoring system is not suited for this. So, oh, hello, autosave. There we are. Okay, I can work around this. Oop. Simple vertical straight line shouldn't be too difficult. There's a vertical horizontal line. Why not? You know what? Just make my life easier. Okay, over here is Pal. This is going to be a lot more difficult to differentiate between them. And over here are the Three Stooges. We have skills. They're multiplying. And we have staminas. Your skill, functionally speaking, is 11. Because we also have the helmet. Just as a reminder, your base skill is 8, but you have the sword, which is +2, and the helmet, which works in battle, which is +1. The skills of the gremlins are for 3 and 3. The staminas of the gremlins are 3, 3, and 2. You fight them all simultaneously. They get 3 attacks per round. You get 1. But you get to choose who they are going for. By the way, this is full 3. This is a 3-3. And this is 3-2. So I'm going to organise it. Your stamina is 16. It's going to be tricky for you to lose any rolls at this point, but nonetheless, we might as well go through the rigmarole. Lots of these 2d6s, please. Just throw them at me. Okay, that's a 10. That's 21. I believe there is no way that they could possibly get any higher than that. So, but you roll anyway. So you've rolled 6, which is 10. 8, which is 11. They've almost got above your base skill. And 7, which is 10. So I'm trying to think of a way to make this fairer. You know? Like, if collectively they get above the skill, like if you add it together, that's 31, so that's 1 hit on you or something like that, but you also hit them because you hit one of them. I don't know, I'm making these rules up on the fly. Does that seem fair? You're going to take chips, but they're going to die quick. You're fighting 3 things at once. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So what happens is you successfully get a hit on one of them. Which one are you going to attack first? You're going to attack the leader of the gang. I don't know who that is. Donatello? Whatever. Chef Boy or worried-looking Archer? Archie. Leader, 2 health 1. That doesn't help. Archie, okay, so you attack Archie and immediately, boom, just collapse on the floor, dead. Didn't go very quickly. 2 HP, yeah. So we're now down to 3-3-0. Collectively, the other 2 of them don't quite manage to score an attack on you, but nonetheless, they sort of knock you back and cause you to readjust for the next turn. Leonardo's the leader. Isn't... I don't know. All I remember is that bit in Game Grumps where they're arguing about the fact that the lyrics to the theme tune of the film are wrong or something. I can't remember. I don't think I've ever actually watched what was in Britain called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. I don't know why they changed the word ninja, but they did. Leo is leader. Michelangelo's idiot. I'm sure Chibi could chime in on a lot of this. Yes, that's what they were called here. In the same way that when I was, when I had a Super Nintendo, I played Starwing. I played the game Starwing, and I played it a lot, and then I got very confused as to why it was called Star Fox in other countries. Copyright. It's a bugger. So yeah, sorry. Rolls have been happening. There was the last one was 7. Okay, so there was 10. There's another 21. Well done. Plus an 11. Ooh, that gets you up to 15. So they might cause a hit on you, depending on what they do. Donatello is a nerd. Fair enough. 9. Ooh, so they collectively managed to Or hang on, hang on. Maths. Just do maths. 14. Dead. So, what happens is Pal gets a strike off on one of them, whichever one you desire. I suppose symmetrically it doesn't particularly matter. But the other one, Pal lets their guard down for the other one, and they come in and just nick a little bit in the back of Pal's exposed leg as the as the pelt, the curtain, the coat all flutter up in the attack swing. Leader this time? Okay, so Chef Boy gets in there and slices the leg a little bit. Doesn't do too much damage. Just does one, because I'm adjusting the rules here, but I think fairly. And just gets a little nick into the back of the leg, but you do quite significant damage to the leader, who is at this point a little bit injured, but still aggressive and quite manic. It's a little bit unsettling. Where did we go? Where do we go now? What have I missed? There was... The last one was an 11, wasn't it? So that must be 9 for us, so that's 20. Followed by a 7, which gives us 11, and an 8, which gives us also 11. So same similar thing happens. I assume you also want to go for the leader again. Only this time, Pal manages to, whilst getting sliced in the arm ever so slightly, another little nick, they manage to take out the leader fully, and they thwomp on the floor on the opposite side of the room to the archer fellow. Everything gets a lot quieter at this point. The manic one has ceased shrieking and running around with a knife, going like that. And you're just left with the gormless chef standing. You love that sound. You're welcome. Feel free to cut out and use it as a ringtone or an alarm. That'd be an interesting alarm. Wake up. One of these days I'm going to twiddle the wrong button and I'm going to break everything. But just got to... I haven't shown you a picture of my mixing desk. Like, about 90% of the buttons and knobs on it are not useful. So there's a lot going on. What there was a thing, yes. We have a 10, which brings us up to 21 again. You're pretty consistent with your sort of 10s and 10s and 9s and such. Higher than average rolls for your attacks. There's no way Gobbo Friend can hurt you on this particular one. Even though they do try. 7. You're dead. What do we got? 3, 7, 10. They do try, but they fail against the might of a magical sword with a magical helmet, wielded by a keen adventurer. And as a consequence, yeah, they get a bit diced up. But gormless as they are, they keep going. They don't understand pain. They probably should, because there's going to be a lot of it soon. That's an 8, so that's 19. Below average. Not below average for the rolls, but below average because of your diced. Because chef, yeah, I know that's what I was going for. It's fine. And then an 11, just a last final hurrah. Not a very successful hurrah, but the chef flies at you as though you were a chop, waiting to be, well, chopped. On the cutting board, and unfortunately, chef's not particularly used to their fodder moving out of the way and cutting them in return, thus causing their demise. And so you have successfully defeated the gremlin triplets. I won't cross out their eyes because I quite like this picture. Congratulations. Let me do things with books. You got out of this one with a little bit of scratching, a little bit of slices in your back and your legs and all that. Okay. So you've successfully beaten the gremlins, and now you have a chance to see what's in this room. It's been very dark up until now because you've extinguished your torch, but fortunately they were very noisy, so it didn't really. Sorry, I dropped my bookmark. Yes, so now you can light the torch and see what's in the room. Pal looks around and sees that there are many handmade clay figures of human hands in different positions covering every available surface area. That would explain some of the smashing that was happening while the fight was going on. They're all painted with a bright red glaze. There's a copper vase in the corner, and just to save a little bit of time, in the vase you see 3 gold pieces, which you're more than welcome to take with you if you so desire. As far as Pal can ascertain, that is all that is in the cave. Just a lot of hands. A lot of clay hands. And 3 gold pieces. So well done. 3 gold pieces. Let's get some gold pieces. Add that to there. You are now on 14 stamina. And you killed 3 gremlins. Well done. I'm not sure whether that's something to be proud of, but it happened. You have gotten revenge on at least this guy who shot you in the shoulder. Take them and the vase. I suppose I should set up a vote. Poor Archie, the only named gremlin, yeah. You just got home. Hello, Kiro. How you doing? We've killed 3 gremlins. Since it's October and we're talking about gremlins, might I recommend the band Creature Feature? Their recent album ends on a song called Gremlins Everywhere, and it's very silly and very fun. I'm a big fan. It is nothing like the endings to any of their other albums, but it's great. What's going on? Yes, we just went into the room. Well, actually, what we did is we avoided an arrow. We threw... Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. We threw a fire capsule into the room to distract them, so that they didn't fire arrows at us as we ran into the room. And then we found the gremlins and killed them. We subsequently looked around the room and found that this room is full... I suppose I should draw this. Is full of clay figurines of hands, which an artist absolutely loves. Human hands, roughly speaking. Made by an amateur potter. I don't know why. Just all over the place. With a red glaze. In all different poses, I think it said. I'm pretty sure Ian Livingstone just did this to try and make the artist draw this. It was like, yes, they're in all different poses and they surround the room on every available surface. Go. And the artist was like, I'm not drawing that. Not drawing that. It's fine. One flipping off hand, please. Sure. How does that work? Oops. No, it works. I don't know. Having drawn Malachi, I should probably know how to draw this, but... I really want to work on outliers stuff. Gotta hurry up, finish Foggate. Yeah, anyway, hands. Lots of figurines of hands and a vase. Copper vase. Which is of little material wealth, or value, sorry. But did have 3 coins in it. It's a bit beaten up. I was about to try and impose some sort of inventory system on you guys by saying, oh, you know, it's It's a big thing. Are you going to be able to take that in your bag? And then I just thought, it's an empty vase. You can just put other stuff in it. Yeah. It's not going to take up much space once you put things in it. Okay, so we're taking the vase, apparently, and the gold, and the bow, and the arrows. You have literally exceeded my inventory space that I have allotted you. We can wear it on our head. Miss, you've got to draw this. I suppose you don't have to. You've got creative license to work around it, but... Oh, dear. We won the game! We got the copper pot. You have overflowed inventory. Well done. I'm going to take sword off. Let's just take, for the moment, let's just assume we have our regular sword as well. We don't need to have that in our inventory. So I'm just going to have to add some more erroneous items, such as copper vase. Did I mention that I forgot to do these pictures before this stream, and as a consequence, during the opening music segment, I just hurriedly drew the last 3 pictures? Because I did. That's what happened. That was the goal. The goal is to get the head of the hammer. You're looking for a bronze head of a hammer with a G inscribed on it. What have we got? Sorry, we're getting the vase, we're getting the gold, which I've already done. The bow, apparently. You've got a small bow. And some arrows, which I do actually still have. There are 4 arrows lying around still left. So if I save that, that should... Okay, cool. So things have shuffled around. The arrows pictures have come up, which is nice. My system works. What if we turn the copper vase into the head of the hammer and win the game that way? I don't think Pal has quite the requisite abilities to do that with the things that he has. And indeed, if he were to go to a place in order to do so, then it would take too much time, and the dwarves would probably end up, you know, mauled by trolls. Dark is sweating in GM right now at us exceeding our backspace. Yes. Oh dear. I might just, you know, like get rid of the bar of gold, because it's at this point it's just flakes of gold that you've been scraping off. You know, it's accounted for in your gold count. Let's put it that way. Yeah. This game's really not built to be played this way, is it? Also, one thing I should say, I decided to, whenever I test your luck, you should actually subtract 1 from your luck, but because we're doing the entire game and there are lots of portions where you test your luck, I felt that was unfair. So, and there are other places where you do lose luck, so it's fine. Yeah, so I just thought I'd point that out. For the purposes of balance, I haven't been reducing your luck every time we test it, because I also make up times when we test it, so that would also be unfair. Anyway, we have exhausted this room by taking the vase and the gold and bows and arrows. It's now just an empty room with 3 corpses full of hands. So they're not really empty. Don't know why I said that. No predetermined bag limit, you're good. I was honestly not expecting to have... I put this many squares so that I'd be safe. You know? Oh, blimey, we're halfway through the stream. We've done 1 drawing. Actually, no, we did 2 drawings, because we did that as well. Right. That's a mess. Well, cool, bye-bye. Right, have fun, and thank you for popping along. I won't tell you what you remember from the first stream. Fair enough. Right, so... You have now exhausted the well. The well is complete. So let's have a look at the map. Here's the well. The well is... well, done. I think everything that I highlighted last... Oh yeah, everything with the square around it is technically unfinished, I suppose. Yeah, I think that's... I may have missed some. Who knows? Yeah. So where do you want to go? Pal looks around the rooms that they were in before, and now that they're not hurrying, and with the torch, and looks in all the nooks and crannies and sees that there's nothing of value, nothing of particular use there. The small bit of eel that they threw away has gone, presumably eaten by the gremlins before you killed them. The chef is not very sophisticated. Go to each unfinished thing and burn them down. Well, you have to specify the order. So what do we want to do? The well is complete, I suppose. So yeah, over here... Oh, I didn't actually... So this was King Gremlin. Oh no, he had a top hat, didn't he? So it was a while ago. So there was Top Hat Gremlin. That looks like the top hat from Rayman. Then there was 3 gremlins and the bar of gold. Yeah, we've exhausted all this, so we're done. Path between the bees and the footsteps. Oh yeah, this bit. We're looking for a gremlin with a key in a crypt. No, we're looking for the goblin with the hammerhead. We're told a goblin has the hammerhead, and we were told that a goblin was seen going into a crypt. And we have found a stone building here that requires a key. I've unpacked your sentence into the 3 constituent facts. Strictly speaking, we have yet to find anything that we could explicitly say is a crypt or not. Oh, actually, there are plenty of things we can say aren't a crypt. You promise you pay attention? That's fine. Doesn't matter. It's silly. I can recap as much as you like. I'm paying attention. That's all that really matters. With regards to actually, keeping on track. The well is a crypt now. Do you have to actually properly bury things in order for something to be a crypt? Well, I suppose not, because like a catacomb's a crypt. Because they're not really buried; they're just put on shelves. Well, it's underground. Is an underground catacomb technically a burial? We're asking the important questions here. So we have a vote for seduce every gold we come across until we get the ding dang hammerhead. 1 for path between bees and footsteps, evade pterodactyl. And 1 for path between bees and footsteps, not evading the pterodactyl. I mean, you could evade the pterodactyl by going up to the bees first. Probably the easiest way of doing it. You copied the spelling and everything, Kiro. Marvelous. Okay, so it seems we can keep the seducing every goblin we come across in the back of our heads. You thought you'd expand it in case you decide. I was going to ask precisely which path you would like to take, because if you wish to do sort of backtracking, yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. So Pal decides to go. Where's Pal? Here's Pal. Ooh, let's see if there's any other things I drew. Okay, cool. So they pop out of the well, walk their way along to the smooch hut. There's every single time Pal is anticipant to see if there's anyone there at the smooch hut, but nope, nothing. They travel further north. The cloud is no longer there. It seems to have buzzed away somewhere else. They avoid the path with the unpleasant wizard, whose house we vandalized. When we walk up to a little path where there's bees, lots of flowers and bees just buzzing around having fun. Not killer bees, they're just nice bees. The killer bees they're down here. And they decide to head west, thence from the bees. I must now find what page that is. You have to go. Thank you very much for coming along. I hope you have a wonderful time, and I hope you had a wonderful time as well. Yeah. Goodbye. Have a good evening, and subsequent day, and week, and month. Righty ho. So Pal walks past the bees, buzzing away happily, and heads west in the hopes that they can join up the path with some footsteps that they saw, and indeed to try and find out where those footsteps lead. In doing so, they have re-entered the forest. I should probably have mentioned that. So you're now in the thick underbrush and all these sorts of things. So you walk through the dense foliage. This part of the forest is particularly thick with thistles and weeds and thickets and thorns and lots of things beginning with th. And as Pal walks along the path, they see a small man wearing an iron helmet and a chainmail coat sitting on a log by the side of the path. It is a dwarf. Pal recognises them because they've seen them in the Stonebridge before, where they stayed for a little while, much to the chagrin of the dwarves themselves. The dwarf doesn't look particularly pleased to see you. What do you want to do? There's a dwarf sitting on a log. It's a dwarf. So you spell dwarf? A quick Scottish accent. I don't know. I used to know how to do a Scottish accent. Well, Glaswegian. I don't suppose dwarves are Glaswegian, are they? Gotta draw a dwarf. Let's have a sort of. And I always use. Do you know when you use sort of trigger phrases, as it were, to try and sort of snap into an accent, just a phrase that you know exactly how to say in that accent, and by saying it you start getting into the flow. Whenever I try and do a sort of Glaswegian Scottish accent, I say hello and welcome to Limmy's show, because I used to watch Limmy's show a lot. Evidently I've lost it slightly, but there we are. Welcome to Limmy's show. That's more actually Kevin Bridges more than Limmy, but for some reason. I recommend Limmy's show. It's a good sketch. Very cynical, but good. Can I text to speech Dark's thing? That's a Dark and Chibi, not me. I mean, you're more than welcome to do that to me. That's fine. Rally ho! Indeed. Accents are not my thing. Perspective is not my thing. Anatomy's not my thing. What am I doing here? Did it say he had like an axe or anything? Let's read that again. Iron helmet, chainmail coat. That's all we've got. Right, so I'm gonna say he's carrying an axe because that's what dwarfs do. You can snap the log that he's sitting on. Because screw perspective. An axe or hammer and either round shield or crossbow is normally dwarfy stuff. Fantastic. In that case, I shall give them a piccolo. What did you all do now? Yeah, we found a dwarf and we're doing Scottish accents, I suppose. Or attempting, as Miss says. Miss is the arbiter of these things. Rightly so. Got one of those plated beards. That's how you pronounce that, isn't it? Plated? We plate beards. Which does actually sound like a type of dwarf. Ah, the Platebeard clan. Yeah, we found a dwarf sitting on a log. We've moved up to the only northern uncharted area of the map. It's got big eyebrows. Extend way out of the helmet. Your Dungeon World dwarfs are Russian. Not all dwarves are Scottish. No, but they do need to have some sort of earthy accent. They mine their accents. No, that's not true. So he's wearing chainmail, I suppose. So let's just do this a bunch. Looks like chainmail, yeah. doesn't look knitted. Well, I suppose it's like, the Monty Python Holy Grail thing. They knitted all of their armour, which was great because apparently they were also filming a lot in the rain, which is a wonderful thing to do in heavily knitted wool. I don't know what he's wearing on the rest of his... Sorry, I don't know what they're wearing on the rest of their clothes. Maybe nothing. Maybe there's just a tank top under there. Long gloves. Why not? I suppose I should give these the correct number of fingers. Correct in my mind anyway. I don't know how many fingers they have in other fantasy source material. Widgets. What am I talking about? Sources, that's the word I'm looking for. Tank top and knitted chainmail and long glove is certainly a choice. Yeah. Some short shorts. Right, cool. Don't know what's going on with the feet yet, because it's sitting on a log. There's a dwarf. Right. Thigh-high boots? Sure, why not? So they're not shorts, that's where the boots stop. For protection. Greet the dwarf and explain the quest we're on. Ask if you can help at all. That seems to be the vote, because there's 4 votes for that, which is, I think, is the highest percentage of anything has ever been voted for when there's more than one option. And the other one says, hit dwarf with vase. Oh, I love it. It's just like, what's it called? Invasive thoughts. Like Pal always has at least one voice in the back of his mind that's just going, I could just throw that vase. I just take it out, just throw it, But I won't. Speaking of key phrases, you thought your key phrase to get in a Russian accent is, it's good to see you again, Mr. Bond. That's a good one, if you know how to do it. I don't know how to do a Russian accent. It sounded like Dracula. It's good to see you again, Mr. Bond. Right, what are we doing? We saw a dwarf. Right, so we start the chat. Right, so Pal says hello to the dwarf. The dwarf sort of grumbles in response. Like that. And Pal says, look, I've met a load of dwarves, and I'm trying to help them. The dwarves from Stonebridge. I'm trying to help them find the hammer. The dwarf glares at you and jumps to his feet, grabbing his axe, and says, I hate the dwarves from Stonebridge. And he tells you that he's searching Darkwood Forest for Gillibrand's warhammer to take it back to his village, Mirewater, in the west. He tells you that his name is Trumbull, and that his favourite eagle has been lost while attempting to seize Gillibrand's warhammer. You realise you are talking to an enemy of Stonebridge. Oh, I just dropped the book. It's drama. You don't like Stonebridge. That's Yorkshire. I'm not sure what happened there. Typical Scotland Yorkshire rivalry. I don't know what this accent is anymore. Let's get ready to trumble. Yes, indeed. So yeah, it does actually. So I suppose I should follow the rules of the book in this particular instance, because it says you realise. I don't know why I'm saying that in a Scottish accent. You realise that you're talking to an enemy of Stonebridge. Lose 1 luck. You're unlucky because you found an enemy. Oh, and you don't have 1 luck. You have 7. It's fine. Slightly less lucky now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're still average. Okay, so bad timing there. I accidentally read Try's vote while drinking, which is not a good idea. Oh dear. There's a nice sort of decoration on it with runes. Nif. Etc. Everyone loves Nif. It's my family name. Trumbull Nif. Trumbull Nif. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to reset the vote. So I suppose, yeah, we have. If only I could just delete a vote, that'd be great. So we have 2 votes at the moment for Haha Stonebridge. I didn't say Stonebridge. You want to hear me play the recorder? Oh, here we are. There's more coming in. You want to hear me play the recorder? No? Okay, well, I'm going to go now. We have 1 for Stab the absolute shit out of this wang. Of course. And 1 for Hide the Handle from View. Wish him luck. Hang on. There, things are moving. Hide the Handle from View. Wish him luck on his search and leave. Pal is done with this hyper-aggressive nonsense. Which now has 2 votes, so... Why would you delete Chippy's vote? Now, the one before from... I forgot to set up a new vote for this phase. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay, so Pal, apparently, hides the handle from view, wishes Trumbull Nif, wishes him luck, and bids them adieu. The dwarf grumbles. Trumbull grumbles, and is perfectly content for that to happen, not believing that a mere goblin would be able to take away, find the hammer or seize it from wherever it came. Projectile vomit onto his face as we walk away. Next vote. Right, so you leave the dwarf in peace. That's fine. Goodbye, Trumbull. Okay, go back to the map. We found a dwarf. There's Trumbull. There he is, with his beard. This is the wrong layer again. I always do that because I'm an idiot. Cool. Trumbull. Hang on, let me just check to see if there's anything I missed. No? Okay, cool. Yep, so Trumbull seems unfazed by you just leaving, and you leave. Trying to expedite the return of peace to your increasingly tumultuous task. You're only partially here, just finishing up your debate write-up? Marvellous. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Do as you do. And thank you for being here even partially. And thank you for anyone who's watching the VOD, and thank you for anyone who is here but not saying anything. I appreciate all forms of support. Very glad and very welcome. Listening to it's keeping you sane. Yay! Glad we can do a service. So where now? This the dots. You can continue west, or you can go back to somewhere you've been before. You can go down a bit on the map. Again, the fact that this is a north-south map makes it a bit awkward. Unless I just go like this, I suppose. Turn your head sideways, it'll be fine. In fighting for your life, you may have to put the zombie spawn. You may have put the zombie spawn a tad too high. I suppose that's the idea in a zombie thing. You're fighting for your life. Go to hillmen or monkeys. Shoot to know. We have one for west. Just a little gap here. Oop, there. Sorry. Or go to the hillmen's or the monkeys. The monkey was after the handle, wasn't it? Yeah. Looking at boxes of unfinished. Yeah, there's the hillmen, pterodactyl, key, big spider, evil woman, ape man. Yeah, still some bits and bobs. Giant, thieves, wyvern. You're supposed to be able to do it in one go, right? That is a valid assumption. Where were the hobgoblins? Oh yeah, I suppose we haven't done them either. They're there. Just before we got to the hole, the slimy hole. Okay, so we've got 3 votes for go to the hillmen and 1 vote for west, so we're going to go to the hillmen and not go west. So Pal, trying to think of which places would have a key. I mean, a key's a small thing that could be taken by anyone. A passing magpie could have grabbed it because it's shiny. Could be in a tree, in a nest or something, who knows? So Pal wanders along and then wanders down. Back out of the forest, out of the thickets and the thistles. Into the fields and so on and so forth. To the smooch place, still depressingly vacant. Past the well, through the little field of daffodils, and decides to return back to the hillmen. You're a passing magpie. Oh, thank you. So we return to the hillmen, which I do not remember how I drew. The hillmen are, this time, somewhat preoccupied, and you are approaching them from a direction that they did not expect, because previously they shot you through the shoulder. If you recall, we are in a very hilly area, which is where hillmen live, and they got you in a ravine. They shot an arrow at you and then just sort of laughed at you for a bit, seemingly not hostile, just a strange sense of humour. This time, you catch up to them, and they are in their hill, in the valley, between 2 hills. Sitting around a little campfire, in the day, just sort of making noises to one another. You're not entirely sure whether they have a language or if you understand it. But they're there, and you see they have a few possessions. They have little bags, little leather bags around them, and to their side by the fire. Yeah, what do you want to do? You see the hillmen. They're sitting at the fire. Which I suppose I have to draw. Let's try. Shall we? That's a good vote. This time it is the Pal who has the sneaks. If I recall, they were very just sort of... I should probably do it slightly bigger than this. Come on, Chris, put some effort in. There's a big fire. can add their skin as another item to wear. Oh dear. You're arguing about the sorry jar. I caught a blood eel and it was this big. Please no. Alas, I am beholden to whatever psychopathic tendencies the vote system implies. Nonetheless, I can punish. Do you remember that thing I was talking about last time about how I never zoom out? And as a consequence, when I do, things look terrible. Sometimes those urges take over. Shrug. Just got to make a new coat. Hang on, let me just check something for a second. No, that's fine. Cool. You already have a list that sits beside you when you draw this goblin. Please stop adding to it. Oh dear. I know the feeling. Let's go fox hunting. I'm sure there's one around somewhere, assuming that the hunter didn't get to it. Tider, or whatever their name was. This is the bag. Side of the bag. This is the inside of a slipper. This is the head of a frog. This is an egg. This is the tip of a copper vase, which contains a recorder. So I can probably use my recorder as reference. Now I have a recorder. Because I don't think I've been putting the wind hole in the wrong place. Yeah. There's no wind hole there, apparently. It's down, it's there, on this side. Where did we go to vase? We picked it up in the room with the gremlins. Apparently, we picked up a copper vase. Which just had coins in it, and it was just a copper vase, but we picked it up. We picked it up. Can't wait for a PAL sticker, poster, original soundtrack, t-shirt, messenger bag, and coaster set for sale on my store. I would like to do some coasters. Coasters sound fun. Obviously not too many, because you don't need many coasters, but you don't really need many stickers, do you? I'd like them to be themed around, you know, drinking or, you know, whatever. So here's PAL. I'm going to make the back of the hair poofy. Why not? Yeah, I'm fairly pleased with that angle. The head's too small, I think, or the body's too big. One or the other. One or the other, no more, no less. No fewer. No whatever the... I suppose it's just more, isn't it? Why is more the opposite of less and fewer? There's a question. It's not an interesting question, but it's a question. You use coasters as the soft ninja stars. Fair enough. Infinite points. Sorry, but you need all the stickers. That's fair enough. I don't want to do too many stickers because it's like... I don't know. There's only so many stickers you need. You know, and there's only so much space you have for stickers. I like variety if I can. But, yeah. All other merchandise you can give me, and by give me, I mean you can buy. Fair enough. Give us hoodies. Hoodies are difficult. I may ask Emily about that, but we'll see. Posters, shirts, messenger bags. Bags would be nice. Again, it's not like I can sell many of those to people. Buy 7 bags. Do it. Okay, so we found the wild hillman. What are we doing? We are shooting an arrow in the hillman's shoulder and laughing. Well, PAL takes out the bow, which they now have. Cocks an arrow, which they also have. Is cock is that the right word? Who knows? I did hear your name, because you are a master hoodie designer. And apparently I'm being told to make a hoodie, but who knows? You mean what? PAL isn't a worldwide sensation? Apparently not, no. Oh, you knock an arrow. Yes, you do. Knock, knock, an arrow. That's not how the joke goes. You're going to do washing up and prepare for lunch. Thank you for coming along. Prepare lunch, not prepare for lunch. Well, the idea is preparing for lunch. But anyway. So what are we doing? Yes, okay, so PAL knocks an arrow. They then put it in the bow and pull back the string. Roll 2d6. And while you're doing that, I'm going to look up pages so that I know what these guys are equipped with, because they're probably not going to be happy. Regardless of the outcome of this roll. Okay, that makes sense. That's their way of communicating. Knocking is putting it in the bow, silly puzzle. I know it was a joke on the... Don't worry. Evidently a badly formatted one. Yep, okay, that's cool. That makes sense. So when someone texts you and you take 5 days to get back to them. Yeah, only in this case it's 10 weeks. Oh, I don't have that emote on here, but then again I didn't make it, so that's fine. Feel free to use the the goose one plus the word tier. Because why not? Yes, okay, so Pal knocks an arrow. You rolled, didn't you? You did. You rolled, well. It was a skill roll, by the way, under your skill. Pal knocks the arrow and fires it through the air, right into the shoulder of, yeah, that, exactly. Right into the shoulder of one of the hillmen. The hillman yelps out in surprise and then pain. Like that. Not echoey because we're not in a well. And the other one angrily picks up a flint axe that they had by their side and rushes towards you. The second one doing the same a little bit later. You have the edit if you need it. It's fine. I don't know. I like making my emotes and all that sort of stuff. I don't like using others and all that sort of stuff. Sorry again about that. About what? I are confused. Why Kiro say sorry? The edit? Why are you apologizing for an edit? You made a thing that people use and it's cool. I know, but this is just for the purposes of Mixer. If I want an emote that's about, you know, crying out and things like that, I'll make my own because I like making emotes. It's fun. Don't worry about it. You got hillmen attacking you. You got bigger things to worry about. So not that cool. The hillmen are angry. They are indeed, and you have to fight them both at the same time. One of them, for the first round, you're only attacking the one you didn't shoot in the shoulder. But for the second round, you have the other one as well. Yours isn't good enough. It's not yours. Try shush. Take a leaf out of Mrs. Book. Here is the good gobbo. I'm taking the leaf out of your book, miss, where the best thing to do with try is just go, sorry, what? Nah, don't worry about it. Communication is difficult. Yes, Try and I are, we're out of phase in our own separate realities, what with being born on opposite sides of the year. So these are now the extremely wild hillmen. They're very, very, very spiky hair. And great big bushy beards. They look like something out of Dennis the Menace, by which I mean the English Dennis the Menace, not the American one, which were made independently at the same time with the same name, but have almost nothing in common. There they are. Okay, wilder with each drawing. Yeah, next time they're just going to be like a cubist, surrealist picture. Evil mirror friend. You said nothing this entire argument. No, I'm just talking in general. Don't worry about it. So what have we got? We have... That's the one. That's the attitude. It's that and the no one, which I know Try really likes. It's not called Dennis the Slightly Annoying Child. But yeah, if you've never seen the British one, or if you're British and you've never seen the American one, they're very different. What have we got? We have the skills and we have the stamps. Our skill is again functionally 11, and our stam is functionally 14 because it is. Thought dealing with Try was safe. Well, yeah, that's true. What if you just say Elu and ignore what he says? That now you've said it out loud, I don't think it's going to work anymore. Yeah, if you put a misspelt word at the end of it, it's fine. Right, so what are we doing? I need to look up the hillman. I bookmarked the page because I'm clever. So we start with just the one of them, who has 7 skill and 5 health. And we roll! Roll away. 2d6s. Many, please. Elu, you stinkum. Oh dear, that's not a good start. So, Pal, not used to having the higher ground, being a goblin, is a little bit taken aback by the fact that this thing's coming from below them. You don't understand the intricate rituals of beachdom. Fair enough. Fortunately, the hillmen are not particularly well versed in close combat themselves with anything other than wild boars. So you successfully managed to bonk them on the head with your sword, by which I mean cause quite a severe wound. At which point the friend comes running over, who has 6 and 4. Cool. Slightly less skill and slightly less stamina because they just had an arrow through the shoulder. Which, as Pal knows, is a bit of a problem. Rolling low is good when you're rolling for the enemy, particularly when you've rolled yourself. So that's pretty good. So 22. Again, we'll go with the whole multi-combat nicking idea, as it were. That's 14. You're doubling things here. And a 6. That's 12. You just doubled everything. Well done. So collectively that's 26, so it's greater. So as Pal is fighting the two of them, you also need to choose who you're attacking here. It's 4. This is so ignored. You were attacking the damaged one, fair enough. So Pal successfully manages to get another hit on the in the shoulder. Pal's going for the shoulder. It's a shoulder day. So hits the shoulder of the one that doesn't have the arrow in the shoulder, and causes more damage. While that's happening, the other one manages to slice a little bit at Pal's feet. Pal still has the upper ground, but nonetheless can take damage from below, ever so slightly. So that's another 11. Well done. It's the revenge arc of the adventure. You love it. It's a good roll day. Yeah. That's a 10. 17. So they're almost certainly... No, they are certainly going to get an attack on you. No, hang on. Yes. And you doubled it again. Well done. So... Doubled with the double. Congratulations. I assume you want to go for the one with 1 health. That's fine. Pal finally manages to dispatch the more aggressive one by just fully dislocating the arm. And then they just roll down the hill in a sort of wobbly heap. Saying something along the lines of "I've got a bone to pick with you," etc. The other hillman with the arrow in his shoulder gets rather upset by this whole endeavour, and now comes at you attacking full force. The 5 was for us, I think. Yes, so that's 16. He's been disarmed. Yes. Now who shoulders the burden? 6. You really like doubling this guy's score. Unfortunately, the full ferocity of a wild hillman is no match for an enchanted sword, an experienced fighter, and a goblin who has been dreaming about this day, avenging their own shoulder. And as a consequence, attacks the other shoulder without the arrow in it. Both shoulders now damaged. Ditto. 2. The wild man is faltering slightly. Only double. 7, that gives us 18. They can match. They don't. And so they lost on the double, unfortunately. See, this is what happens when they don't double. It's 5 is 11. Cool. Revenge! And with that, the second one falls down. This time, Pal just directly slices the sword right into the... or pierces... what's the word? Thrusts the sword directly into the shoulder. And the hillman faints with the sight of it and then rolls down the hill and knocks himself unconscious along the way and dies. It's great. Don't worry about it. I can improv. That's a thing I do. So yeah, the wild hillmen are now deceased. Thrusts gored. Congratulations, you have you have succeeded in the only character arc in this entire book. Hang on, I need to start a new vote. So yeah, they're dead. You killed some wild hillmen. Are you proud of yourself? No more thrusting, only smooching. Luckily, I capitalised all of your votes already. Unfortunately, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner what you just wrote. Try, there's only so much inventory. Or I could be cruel and just say, right, that's your inventory space. If you want to throw things away, you can. But that's it. You're allowed 24 items. 25 if you include your usual sword. Wear the skin, use the bones as armor. Winning. Hashtag winning. Tiger blood, etc. Old memes from like 2012. So we have 2 votes for take their stuff, don't skin them. 1 for no more thrusting, and 1 for skin, debone, loot the leather bags, and also take the leather bags. So we have... So Pal decides to rummage amongst their goods. Do we get to know what's in the bags? Well, you do now that you're rummaging through them, yes. You literally, by asking that, you manage to delay finding out what's in the bags. So Pal goes down to the place where the fire was, sees small leather bags, and opens the first one, undoing the clasp. There's a little leather clasp. It's pretty simple. Little knot that goes under a little loop. And so lifting the loop and pushing the knot through, it's a little fiddly, but it's manageable. They push through the fastener and unravel the top of the leather bag. As they do so, Pal notices that the leather bags are quite old and very dry. They haven't been treated very well, but these are hillmen. You know, what can you expect? So uncovering it, they look inside the bag, and what they find inside the bag are various types of grass and thistle and reeds and nothing of immediate importance. Although you're welcome to take a random collection of herbs if you so desire. And that just leaves the second bag. So Pal gets up from the bended position they were at the first bag and wanders over to the second bag and kneels down, noting that their knees are a little stiff. Combat is not particularly, good on the old knees, even if Pal is relatively young. It stiffens things up, the shoulders particularly as well. So as they lean down and stretch the shoulders, almost in an act of defiance to the disarmed hillmen that are currently lying in a heap on the other side of the hill. I'm only doing this try because you said that, because you were annoyed that I stopped. I'm trying to make it last as long as possible. So he leans down gradually. There's no particular rush, obviously. There's no immediate threat. Pal appreciates the warmth of the fire as this is happening. It's been a while since they've had a bit of a rest, something to eat, but they might do this after that. Who knows? Depends what's in the bag, really. So... So he goes to open this bag. He notices that the clasp on this one is a little more intricate. It's not just a sort of knotted bit of leather over a loop. There's actually like several knots, and it's a little decorative. It's almost as if it was a personal project. Wasn't something just made quickly to store things in. No, this was something that this hillman took time on. Possibly during a heavy rainstorm or something like that, where they had to stay in some sort of shelter. And so passing these knotted cords through the loop and unfurling. This one's also taken care of a little nicer. It's a little less worn, a little less dried out. You're not entirely sure how they looked after it. It's not fully tanned, obviously, because these are wild hillmen, but they seem to have looked after it relatively well. There's a little bit of mould here and there, possibly a little over moist, but you know, these things happen. And so Pal opens the bags and finds, amongst various other bits and pieces, some small sharp pieces of bone, some more bits of grass and thistles, and something glimmering in the back of these thistly things. So Pal puts in the hand and sort of roots around, trying to grab hold of this glimmering thing in the back, and pulls out a bone, and then puts that to one side, and puts the hand in again. It's difficult because it's just about big enough to get his hand in, so it's sort of hard to actually pick out the thing. And so Pal just decides in the end to pull out the clumps of thistle and grass. It saves time, you know. And we want to be expedient about this. We don't want to be standing here all day just sort of pulling things out of a bag, do we? He finds a small silver key in the bag. Do you want to take the silver key? I'm surprised I managed to make it last that long, to be honest. In the book, it's not even in a bag. It's just around his neck. Okay, we take a small silver key. Do you want to throw anything else in your inventory away to do so? He's all the time, too. Do we have to? Yeah, inventory limit. Why not? And by why not, I mean yeah. You've never needed it until now. To be fair, there's not, as you know from looking at the map, there's not a huge amount of the game left, so you shouldn't really worry about it. Well, yeah, the nose filters have been used. They are no longer magical. They're just sort of tubes of wood and metal. Or the shards. We do the shards. We have 3 people saying shards. Throw away. You know where to go if you want more. There's a room full of hands. Press clay shards into the dead eyes of the hillmen. Take silver key. I'll take this simply as we're going to throw away some clay shards and get a silver key. I think that's fair enough. So we'll get rid of the clay shards, and we take instead from the bag silver key. Boom. Which is I do not have a picture for, so there we are. And by there we are, I mean it hasn't updated. Why not? That's fine. These things happen. Save that. Save that. Update. I don't much like this. My system is broken. Ah, okay. So if I just do that and then do this. Okay. For some reason the images are now out of sync. That's very strange. Oh, is it because it's, no? Because the one above that? I don't know. How about if I do that? CSS, it's a mystery. Who knows how it works? That is functionally equivalent. Why did I do that? Let's put it there. Oh, it's broken. I'll fix it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, you have a key. You have found a silver key. When I remembered where the... Yeah, so it's there. Congratulations. And that's the end of the stream. Thank you, everyone, for coming along. Whoops, we won't go to that one. The good art. Yeah. We found a key! And all we had to do was kill 2 men who you may have killed a long time ago. I'm a troll. Yay! I'm still impressed on how long I managed to make that last. Thank you, Try. Thank you, Try, for giving me an excuse to stretch that out. Thank you for the trolls and the rocks and all these things. That seems a bit extreme, Chip. Yes, so yeah, thank you for coming along. This has been episode 15, I think. Stream 15. Whatever. I mean, you know, Pal does what Pal does. Lewd. Look, I am not one to either restrict nor exaggerate Pal's sexual proclivities. 'Tis for them. The last step is, yeah, well, I'll, you know, there's a pixelate function, isn't there? I think so. I did laugh a lot at the trolling. I'm glad. I'm glad that went down well, even if I had to explain it first and then continue for like 5 minutes. But it was an interesting detail about all the knotted stuff and the... Yeah. Anyway. Pal gets down with Troll Town. That's a thing. Next stream, all pixel, yeah. I'll just pre-pixelate. Is there a pixelate function on this? Probably. Can I do that? Hang on, let me see if I can do that. I reckon I can. No, I can't. That's not fair. Oh well. I can do this though. It's a bit weird. I don't know why I'd want to do this. I can just scroll my screen. That's a thing. There we go. Thank you very much, OBS, for giving me that ability. Anyway. Let's go back. What a weird way to end the stream. Thank you for coming along. We have XCOM on Saturday. She's here. Kaboom. XCOM. It was useful. Very useful. To be fair, that is what I use for the text at the bottom. It's just weird that you can do that with a screen. Sure, I don't know. XCOM on Saturday. We have a wild card on Sunday. Another spooky wild card, Limbo. Hooray, hurrah. Who's streaming between now and then? We have, I presume, a Chibi Nether's Day tomorrow. Yes, is that a thing? It is. Yay. Woo. Fridays is... Oops. I think... Not sure if you want to do a spooky thing or just more Age of Empires. Yeah. Try is... yeah. Look, I'm... only remember the ones I'm awake for. It's not my fault. Try will also be streaming. Good things. Presumably, if they wish to. I obviously am not here to enforce anything along those lines. This is a purely optional, recreational thing. Really going to finish Senua this time around. Marvellous. I still need to catch up on the last one. My apologies. So, yeah, there's lots of cool friends doing very good streams. I recommend them all. If you're watching this on the VOD, go to mixer.com/ Purple Star Gang? Is that... or is it like /team Purple Star Gang? Go to mixer.com/ crispy parsnips. And then scroll down, and then there's a thing that says teams. Go to that. All of those people are good. They're good peeps, and they do good streams. Yeah. So that's the thing. And I recommend it wholeheartedly, even if I personally do not set aside enough time to watch them all. Thank you very much, Chibi. That's very kind of you. But you also do good streams, like the Age of Mythology, which is very fun with crocodiles. Still haven't caught up on the last one of that either. I'm a bad friend. So yeah. Oh yeah, it's team. Okay, so mixer.com /team/ Purple Star. Not even the gang. Don't ignore the gang. Just Purple Star. We need to also make a picture for that because we couldn't upload one before. I can't remember. Anyway, thank you for coming along. You don't even remember what happened last time. Oh, that's fair enough. Were there more crocodiles and turtles? Pigs. Ah, good. That's a good start. I will watch. Purple Star cult. Less of a cult now. Now I'm no longer a figurehead. Now I'm just a pleb. Life's grand. Because Mixer is trash. Yeah, he's got issues. But, you know. The piggies were at the end and you did an extra mission to get them. Marvellous. Sounds worth it. Now we're in the Norse part of the game. Ooh. Ooh. Are we just working our way through history via mythology? It's an interesting notion. Yeah. Cool. Kinder Surprise? Kinder from Doctor Who? Thank you for coming along, everybody. I'm blathering. Enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful time. Thank you for coming along to this. I was tired when I started, but it was a lot of fun. We did good things. Fun things. And yeah. Goodbye. I'll see you on Saturday. Or at other streams. Or just in Discord if you're in the Discord. And if not, have a wonderful time. And thank you for watching live or otherwise. Goodbye.